Hey guys, so this is one of those emergency mayday calls that I got called out on in the middle of trying to overhaul the N14. So this is a good customer of mine, and you've seen this truck before. This is the one I recently did the video on. I overhauled this truck, and then I did a recent video of what the common rail pump, the injector, and the turbo on it. Anyway, the father, Kevin, he usually drives this truck. He has two trucks. He has a blue and white Peterbilt too. Well, his son was hauling chips in the Peterbilt, but they decided to start hauling logs again. So Kevin was working on that truck, getting the log bunks and getting the scales working on it and everything. And so he put his son Casey in this truck, and Casey was hauling, I think he hauled 2 loads to Gilchrist, and he was hauling another load to White City on his 3rd trip, and it quit him the day before. So they left it here last night. So he had said that it quit on him, and he got over on the shoulder. He lost power. He went and downshifted. When he downshifted, it stalled on him and died. And then he got over on the shoulder, and he said he only cranked on it for about 10 seconds, and then he said it wouldn't crank anymore, wouldn't do anything. He could hear it click, and he thought maybe the starter was out. So I grabbed a starter and an alternator and 2 belts just in case. I didn't know maybe if the alternator quit charging or something on it, and that might have been why it died. I wasn't 100% certain. So anyways, as you can see here, I'm trying to start it, and the starter's locked up, so we got to change the starter on it. Well, I thought it was dead, but I don't think it is. It's kind of weird what's going on. It sounds like that starter's trying to engage. He said the check engine light was on. Yeah, it's on down there. We know it's going to have a low coolant light on. There we go, finally. I don't know what's making noise in that dash. It had a 559 in it, huh? Wonder why it would have done that with the new pump in there. That's a new pump. I can't believe it didn't have a low coolant light on. You can hear that starter trying to engage, but it acts like it's grinding. I guess we'll pull it out of there. See what the hell's going on with it. This one does not look like it's going to be very much fun at all to deal with. Man, what a pain in the ass. Oh, where to set you at. There ain't gonna be a good spot for you, I can tell you that. What the hell? How does that swapping directions without me touching it? I'd love to know that. The ratchet's switching. It's switching without me touching it. What in the fuck? I've never seen a ratchet do that before. That's fucking wild. That is pretty wild right there. People are in a big hurry to go nowhere, aren't they? I'm gonna have to pull this bracket off the here to get these dropped down to where I can get it off of there. Get the starter out of it. Let's see here. Where's the little starter relay at? I need to find that on the other side of the starter. What I could do is probably just go from here to here. If I can make that happen. Find something different. It's kind of hard to get on this one. Yeah, it's junk. Won't even do anything now. Let's get a different angle here. Look at that. Okay. Let's put a starter in it. Throw this on the ground. Alright. Must have died on him, and he just got unfortunate enough that he went to cranking on it and the starter went out. Okay. I got a feeling it still probably won't start. The 559 code that was in there. Wonder what the hell did that new pump we just put in there take a shit? That'll be enough to piss a guy off. Okay, so the story on this starter here is that when they called me, I called Fleet Pride, I called Kenworth, and nobody had a starter in stock for this truck. So my buddy works for a big fuel distributor that they've got a bunch of Cummins, they've got a bunch of Freightliners with Detroits in them, and he had a starter. Well, they had another starter in Medford, but it wasn't going to be in to Kenworth till noon. So I said, just I'll take the starter from my buddy there and bill that starter to Kevin, and then just take it over and give it to the guy that I stole his starter. So anyways, I don't know if it's something Freightliner specific or something, but as you can see here, the solenoid is mounted clear up on top, and there's threaded holes around that housing on that starter where you can mount that solenoid in different places. So that's what I ran into there. I got to pull the thing back out. I realized that the solenoid was in the wrong darn location, and it was not going to be right, and the wires weren't going to reach going all the way down there. Got a feeling it still ain't gonna start with the. Obviously, something happened to the fuel system on it.
Jesus. I'm never gonna get my damn N14 back together with this shit like this going on every day, it seems like. Truck on the side of the goddamn road somewhere. This mounted back on there now. I could get it up in there with it on there. I'm gonna have to get an extension to tighten that up. Ain't no way I'm gonna get in there, I don't think, with that. Nope, not happening. Not happening. Gotta go get an extension now. I don't know if that was the original starter or not, but maybe. I'm trying to save myself a trip to the damn truck, but that ain't gonna happen there, so. There we go. Completely tighten that one. I better make sure I get the top one started. Took forever, didn't it? Alright, I gotta get the top one in there. I got the top one tightened up. Dang it, come on, socket, get off of there. Don't do that to me. Get off of there. Good times. Well, so didn't really think that one through, did I? So you're not going to get an in wrench or a socket on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the signal wire back on if I can find it. Should be around here somewhere. Where in the heck did it go? Where did the signal wire go? Should have been right here. Huh. Wonder where it went. Oh, that's really... There it is. Kind of disappeared. Get a little bit of time. I'm gonna make this, fix this up a little better for him. This is temporary. And I'll heat shrink all this stuff because I don't like that copper wire sticking out of there, and that'll corrode, and we got to get it off the road. Maybe. I don't even know if it's gonna start. Might be getting on a wrecker. It just blows me away how these people, like that guy right there in that dump truck, no traffic coming the other way, wouldn't even move over. Wouldn't even move over. No common courtesy whatsoever. Don't give a shit about nothing or nobody. They run over and kill you, it's no big deal. Alright. I think I got him. What a deal, huh? What a deal, what a deal, what a deal. Okay, trying to figure out, let's see. I think these had to go first. I don't know which one was first. No, that one had the nut on it, you could tell. This one was on last. You can get it out of the way to get the other ones on. I mean, they got cables galore going to this sumbitch. Oh, jeez. Maybe. Definitely not the easiest starter change out job I've done. Just hard to access. Those cables are so, the way they run them up from the bottom like that, and then 90 those, they bend those eyes over, and then you can't get onto them to get a ratchet on them or anything. Kind of a pain. Okay, so she didn't start, obviously. Thought I had it started. Okay. Put this one bracket back on here on the pan. I had to take it loose so I could get the cables to sag enough to get them off the stud. Okay. Let's monitor rail pressure now that we've got a starter that actually turns the engine over. This new Insight I got takes forever to load. It is lethargic. See what kind of rail pressure we're building. There we go. Get into the live data here. So much more. Get out of here. I don't give a fucking shit. Damn it. Dead son of a bitch, aren't you? Man, that'd drive me absolutely crazy, man. That would just drive me bonkers. I couldn't even take it. I'm trying to get to the live data. This new Cummins Insight, guys, it is so slow. Okay, let's cycle the key. Probably gonna have to reestablish communication with it or something. Engine operating is stop. And the lift pump position on. Good grief. Did he run out of fuel? Where's the fuel gauge at? It says a half a tank, but hang on, I got a low boy turning around. Well guys, so I was cranking on it, I wasn't building any rail pressure, and I heard the electric lift pump like it was sucking air. So I went back there and I pulled the fuel cap off. Keep in mind, don't be too hard on this kid in the comment section, but the fuel gauge is reading a half a tank. You know, and he got in this truck for one day. This is Dad's truck, because his dad owns both the trucks. He owns the Peterbilt and the Kenworth, but it lost a wheel seal or something on the Peterbilt, so his dad stayed at home to work on that truck that day and put the kid in the log truck for the Kenworth. And then he made 2 trips to Gilchrist, and he was making one to White City. He ran out of fuel is what happened, and then he just got unfortunate enough that was the original starter in that truck, so he just got unfortunate enough that starter cranked about 10 seconds, and that was all she had. So I went into White City, which is about 15 miles from where the truck's sitting, and we're on our way back. I had 2 5-gallon buckets I cleaned out and a gas can. So I got 15 gallons of fuel. We're heading back to dump it in there and see if we can get her to run. But no, don't be too hard on the kid. I mean, shit happens. I know he cost his dad some money, but it is what it is, you know. He's a good kid. I can't say nothing, you know why? Because about a week ago I ran this one out of fuel. Right there in Dorse, I come around the corner there, and my fuel gauge said 1/4 of a tank. And it died on me, and sure as shit, I was out of fuel. Lucky one of my customers was driving by, and he came by and he said, "Let me go get you 10 gallons of fuel." And he gave me 10 gallons of fuel, dumped in it, and it fired right up. And then, so, can't be too hard on him. I've done it myself. So we'll be here at the truck here in a little bit.
So I thought I would elaborate a little bit more about this situation. So later on that day, I got fuel in it here and got it started. You'll see after this. And then I took off, told him to come get the truck, come get it unloaded, and he was just going to unload at the mill and then head back home and then go back and start hauling logs tomorrow morning. Well, he went and unloaded at the mill, and he was on his way back, and I guess he put 20 gallons of fuel in the passenger side tank. And I remember looking at the passenger side tank, and there was like 8 or 10 inches on it. Now that I remember seeing that fuel in there, and the driver's side was bone dry, now I know there's a problem with that valve. There's a valve up there that I've never really even researched the theory of operation on how they work, but basically the thing should draw off both tanks and return to both tanks and equalize the fuel in both tanks. And now that I know, he called me later because he was heading home empty, and he got on the east side of Odessa, which is maybe 15, 20 miles from Klamath, and he said it died again on him, and I had to throw 15 more gallons of fuel and threw it in the back of my pickup, and I just drove up there in my pickup, and we poured 15 gallons into it and got it started again, and I said, go to the fuel aisle and fill both tanks clear full. And I said, we're going to have to get a valve ordered for this thing because that valve is obviously faulty. So anyway, it really wasn't Casey's fault at all. He probably would have been just fine if that valve wouldn't have acted up, and it would have equalized the fuel in both tanks, and he probably could have made it to the mill and got unloaded and got either fuel in White City or made it probably clear back home and been just fine, but it was that valve that screwed him up.
bucket. Keys. Let that lift pump just run for a while. I heard the lift pump finally pick up and labor down. Okay, now that sounds normal. I'm gonna let it run its full cycle, then we'll do it one more time. That's pretty good, huh? Let's try it. It runs. All right. All right. Just make damn sure. Why don't you fucking move over? Fuck. Alright guys, well,